Hi Sagittarians, this is your reading for the next 7 days from the time that you're watching this. It is intuitive, channeled, oracles, tarot. It's basically me connecting to the infinite spirit and giving you the guidance that you're asking for, but you're not allowing yourself to receive through your own being. And yeah, it's timeless. You can watch this whenever. I recommend you watch it more than once, actually. And yeah. Oh, all right, there's one. The Lovers. The Magician. And I do not do reversals. I acknowledge the energy. I read the energy, the vibrations, the resonance, the light, and the Ten of Swords. I do not do the... You'll get used to it. You'll see. Okay, the Lovers, the Magician, and the Ten of Swords. This isn't bad, mind you, because the way okay, let me give you this, because if I saw this in my spread, I would be like, oh no, the lover I had is doing something to end the relationship. That's the most basic, fear-filled way you could read this. But these cards are out right now because they're explaining what's happening now, what has already happened. What's already happened is that you and a significant other, or another aspect of yourself. Remember, these can go... Readings can go in different ways because I don't know that it's from your point of view. What I see and sense is pure energy. It's like looking at a diamond, or this is quartz crystal actually, faceted quartz. I don't know which cluster it came from. I don't know where it's looking from. I don't know these things about it. What I see is everything that's happened to make it the way it's happened, the way it is. And what I'm seeing and sensing here is that you have been through a lot of manipulation, a lot of lies, deceit, betrayal, people leaving your life and coming back just to hurt you. An aspect of yourself, the male or female aspect, male and feminine aspect, and the person you're involved with. So this can be you and your partner, or you yourself with the male and female energies within you, or a cross-watcher watching in regards to the relationship that they are attempting to sort out with you. What this feels like to me, interpreting this, is that you are in a relationship, or were in a relationship with yourself or someone else that had gone sour. What this is telling you, what Spirit is trying to tell you, the worst of what could have happened has already happened. The worst. Your Garden of Eden burned to a crisp, only one apple left, and you've been afraid to eat that apple because you're afraid of learning something new to change who you were. You've become stuck and petrified in your own ways, holding on to each other, when the entire intention of what's happening is to teach you the strength to stand on your own, within yourself and with your partner. One tree is on fire, the other tree is barren and only has one apple. Some readers say that the tree that's on fire is the tree of the zodiac, with 12 flames, each flame for each zodiac sign. So this could very well have gone on for a year or 12 years. The sword in the cup, pointing down, that means words were spoken that cut through the emotional state of what was going on, the purity of it, and caused distortions in what was and what could have been. Now this is all what was. What I'm getting is what was. Someone involved themselves in your relationship and pulled strings, utilizing... Look, he's holding something, and it's neither the pentacle, the sword, the cup. or the wand. It's something else. Let me see if I can see this clearly. It almost looks like half of a pomegranate. And a pomegranate is known as the fruit of the underworld. And the mythology of that is when you eat of the fruit of the underworld, you must stay there. When you eat anything of any world, this was taught to me when I was very young by my grandfather. If you ever encounter the Fae, do not eat what they offer you. You will be trapped in their realm. Which I asked him, okay, well, what about going other places? What if we go to like someone's house? If you eat something from that person's house or drink water from that person's house, you will be connected to that person. Not permanently, but you will be. So somebody manipulated your connection with the person you're with to cause an ending. And it was for your own good, because the bottom of the deck is the Four of Swords, and beneath that is the Ace of Pentacles. Beneath that is the Ten of Pentacles. And I would show you, but if I move the camera here. 4, Ace, 10, Wheel, Empress, and the Star. So you've been through something that has really hurt you. Really. You could have manipulated the situation to cause an ending to occur because you were tired of the pain. But both of you, regardless if this is internal or with or without a partner, there was one aspect you guys didn't look at. One fruit hanging on this tree that no one picked out of fear. And that bit of knowledge and wisdom is probably what's going to bring you back into union, back into harmony within yourself. Because all things in life are for your benefit, regardless of how you view them. Everything is here to support you on your journey. Which means, if you face your fear, and instead of utilizing and attempting to manipulate the situation and going about your day in a, oh, I'm single, I'm fine, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, I don't even need this. Instead of doing all that, face what you're afraid of internally. So you lost someone and the worst happened, betrayal, violence, abuse, toxicity, separation, crying, and all of those things that brought you to your knees. What did you learn from it? Did you learn that you're perfectly okay on your own and that you can do anything you want? That you can make something out of nothing, that you can take a simple crystal and make a grid for yourself to clear energy? Or that you can close your eyes and do it yourself without any tools? That your thoughts and your words and your actions, the way you feel, is what can bring anything back to life again. Have you ever read the story of the goddess Isis and her husband Osiris? The goddess Isis loved her husband so much, and his brother had killed him and spread his body all over the place, and she did everything she could because she loved him unconditionally to bring him back together, and she brought him back to life. Nothing ever ends in the way that human perception thinks it does. So if you think something is over, it's not. It's been a moment of pause. Even the Ten of Swords, a completion, a finalization of something that is completely just, that chapter is done. You're reading a book, you close the book, you're done. But is that the only book in the saga? Is that the only one you're writing? If it's not the ending of a book and it's the ending of a chapter, because these two are still holding on to each other. This one is still attempting to do something, whether beneficial, whether helpful, or causing obstacles to help you to jump higher or to move through them. There's still stuff going on between you. And the Four of Swords at the bottom giving you a moment of pause and release and patience and waiting and healing internally, instead of playing the checkerboard game of who's who checkmates who, and following religions and belief systems, and three swords down, one sword up. Don't want to communicate, don't want to communicate, don't want to communicate. If you communicate with me, I'll cut you. Like, you don't want this. And then feeling like you're just dead because, oh, it was so much pain. Well, right as soon as you get out of that, you have the Ace of Pentacles, an opportunity being brought to you in the earthly realm due to the energies you bring into manifestation. And if you're perpetually thinking, I need to hold on, I need to love, I need to grip on, and constantly wait and wait and wait and use all that energy to bring this back to life, it doesn't work that way. It simply does not work that way. In order to attain the unity and harmony of yourself within you, to reconnect with the divinity and the stream of God within you, the stream of source, you must utilize the four elements: earth, air, fire, water, thoughts, actions, emotions, and existence itself, what you perceive, what you're seeing, into the next stage. You cannot go back to that which was, but you can grow from that which was. The ending of one thing, the trees burning, create ash to the soil. The soil absorbs the ash and becomes nutrients to help grow. Even the blood and the flesh and the tears, they all give nutrients and life force to the soil. Your words bless the water. Your breath helps the plants grow. Your feet vibrate the earth. Your emotions send ripples throughout all of creation. So don't send ripples of loss and manipulation and lies and betrayal and endings. Instead, utilize the sword and the chalice with the rose underneath to bring pure, direct, enlightened communication to that love which has been stagnated due to the interference of others. And others interfered in your relationship for only one purpose. The only reason the magician ever does anything is to do something, to get something out of it, whether for itself or for someone else. You only do something to gain something, correct? So the vibration of this does not feel like it was done to hurt you despite how much pain you went through. It felt like it was something to help you grow. Like Achilles tendons, you wouldn't know that the Achilles tendon is a sensitive spot unless somebody had pointed it out for you. You don't know that your funny bone hurts like hell, and it's not funny when it hurts until you bump it somewhere. You don't know that you need to go eat something until you get hunger pains or you get that feeling inside. And you can either stay in that feeling and say, I'm so hungry, my funny bone hurts all the time. Ooh, this puppy needs to go piddle, and the puppy's like running around in circles going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. The way to change that is to do something different that moves the story along. You ever read a book where it just goes on and on for the same chapter, repeating the same story, describing the same scenario, going over the same thing? And you're like, okay, how many more chapters is the story going to be about the love that was lost? What do we do now? Okay, the love that was lost within and without can be regained and improved, but not the way that it was. In order to gain that love, you take a moment of pause. You look at the opportunity being given to you by the moment of separation, by the ending that occurred, and you become aware that you already have everything you've ever wanted with that person. The person you were with is the perfect person for you. You simply weren't a match to the perfect version of that person. So the Wheel of Fortune then comes in and says, well, here you go. Here's another opportunity. Are you going to embody the Empress within and accept everything you have? Or are you going to be an upside down King of Pentacles, being completely ungrateful for everything in front of you, everything you've worked for, all you've wanted being offered to you, and you're just turning it away? Just to feel miserable, alone and left out because you're too comfortable feeling that misery. No one's going to love you out of your misery because it's miserable helping someone that's miserable. It's contagious. You ever been somebody who has a really funny laugh and you start laughing with them? You ever been around somebody who's puking? You almost want to puke. Or someone who's crying, they immediately bring you down. And this is a beautiful spread. You have, the worst is over, Sagittarians. The worst is over. You've galloped your way through the depths of hell. Now allow yourself a moment to heal. Give yourself the next 4 days or so, or even the next 4 minutes, to just be at peace and silence your mind, to see the massive opportunity you've been given by this separation and manipulation, so that you can build an established foundation better than the one you had. Because what you had was fantastic. What messed it up was 10 other swords in your back. That Ace of Swords in the cup wasn't the thing that got you. Ruining the abundance you both had isn't what got you. Being ungrateful isn't what got you. What got you is allowing other people to tell you what's gonna get you. Why does this magician have the power to separate the lovers when the lovers are guided by spirit and the magician is guided by energy, the manifestation energy? He's manipulating the forces of creation. They are made from the forces of creation. The Ten of Swords are icons, thoughts, opinions, words, gossip, bullshit of people that you and your partner or your mind, your heart is allowing to hurt you. And you're stuck in it, feeling sorry for yourself. Get over it, my love. And I mean that in the most loving way. What happened sucked, and sucked. I know, I can feel it. It's like even describing to you how much it was not a pleasant experience. I don't want to. I don't want to bring that vibe into your reading. What happened, happened. When you make compost, usually there's poop in it. When there's, fertilizer, there's poop in it. Well, if you're making compost on a farm with chickens, there's like death in the compost. In the no tree can bloom without another one dying. A seed must fall, it must go into the darkness, it must break itself apart and take the chance that the darkness it's moving through will eventually lead to light. You've been through darkness, you were attached to the tree, you fell off the tree, and now you're in the dirt. Climb out of the dirt. Remember yourself and the empire you've had, and you have, because everything you want and all the opportunities are coming massively at an accelerated rate. Your life is about to change drastically for the better in the next 7 days, and all that's being asked of you is to stop feeling sorry for yourself. The only card in this deck that is completely tainting everything else is the Ten of Swords. And the only reason it's doing it is because of how you feel. Because if this Ten of Swords was in here with any other more negative cards, it would mean a completely different thing. It would feel completely different. But being in here with these cards, you've allowed other people's manipulation to end something that wouldn't have ended normally. And it ended normally to show you not to let other people into your stuff. Hold on. Sorry, there was someone at the door. Don't let other people's opinions keep you from what you want to do. Nothing is impossible. Nothing. Don't overcomplicate it. And I can go through this 1,000 different ways for you, but the thing I'm sensing is the lack of self-worth. You don't feel like you're worth what's coming for you. You've been alone for so long that you don't know. And whether you've been around 1,000 people or not, internally you don't really let people in. You pretend that you do. But inside, you're your own best friend. And that's okay. Be your own best friend. Because that's how you attract an external best friend. Sagittarians. Okay. The Pook. The Pook is a card that describes paradoxes, opposites, the left and the right coming together, shapeshifters, things changing, things improving. My phone just rang over there when I said things changing. Things getting better. Resolution being made, like not loose ends being tied up, but that which was left unspoken of, that which was left undone, comes to become completed, so that when it is completed, you can move forward with that Ace of Pentacles easily. Instead of moving, like, okay, here's what I'm seeing and feeling. And I feel like your bestie right now, and I just want to, like, you know, be a little brat and tug on your hair and be like, are you serious? This is how you're going to behave in life? If your ex, your lover, your soulmate, your best friend, your worst enemy, your twin flame, your mother, your toxic this, your blah blah that, came back to you right in this day, stood right in front of you, and said, you are the love of my life, I want to marry you, let's go, leave everything behind, we have billions of dollars, we're going to travel the world and you get everything you want. You wouldn't do it, would you? You wouldn't do it because you're still carrying this energy. Oh, but what if he does this again? Oh, but what if she does this again? What if this happens again? Well, it will. If you're going to keep saying that, it's gonna. Because it's going to happen until you stop saying that. Things happen to get the fear out of you. If you're walking in a circus and there's a bunch of clowns running at you and you have the fear of clowns, you're not being punished. You're being shown it's okay. It's not something to be afraid of. Life has a cycle of life and death, growth and decay, change and expansion, evolution and heck, sometimes de-evolution. Be grateful for the Ten of Swords, because the worst is over. Resolution is coming. Peace is coming. The Fae. One more card to describe this resolution that's coming. Thank you. He of the Fiery Sword. The male energy, actions, words, communication, moving forward, decisions being made. The masculine principle, the sacred masculine in some way, but not in the husband way, in the energy way. Before it incarnates into a physical body for you, it's making its presence known here. You know how in some videos, some people talk about Archangel Michael's sword, and I'm not really that big on the archangels. I have a complete different perspective on things. I do have a belief in knowing that those energies exist, but they are also part of the binary. Don't get that wrong. The sword of Archangel Michael, it cuts through bullshit. It protects, it guides, it clears the way, it illuminates the darkness. It is destructive, it is pure and utter oblivion on a handle. You can wipe out an entire continent with it. And it has been done in the stories of the Bible. Gabriel's trumpet decimated things. That's not really someone I would pray to. But I would ask, like communicate for guidance and advice, because these beings would know what it is that you're not seeing, correct? Because they also have a completely different point of view, which is their own. And what's being shown to you here, the thing that happened had to have happened for change and resolution to occur, and now is the time for you to move forward. Regardless of how difficult you think it may be, regardless of how scary you think it may be, do it anyway. Face those fears and get through it. That way the relationship you have doesn't involve you and your partner, or your aspects of yourself, your conscious and subconscious, your feminine and masculine, gripping on each other like babies. Like, so, separation anxiety. Oh no, what are we going to do without each other? I don't know. Why don't you find out? Why don't you find out who you are without the other? So that when you're with the other, you truly see yourself reflected through them, and they can see themselves reflected through you without judgment and fear. Otherwise, all you're seeing is what you're pretending to be, and then you're a liar in the relationship. Allow them to meet the real you by knowing who the real you is. Excuse me, I just had a cup of coffee and then my hiccups are all over the place. Ah, that flew out. What was I just saying about compost? What did I just say? Look, the dead tree, that which died and fell over, is now providing so much fertile, blossoming, blooming energy for everything around it. There's little trees growing out of there, little flowers, there's butterflies around there having fun. There's a path over there to walk through. You can sit there, you can rest there. Little animals can make a home there. What was has become a beacon and a sanctuary for what is. So allow the pain, the sadness, the sorrow to go. You cannot create from a place of that. You will only create more of it. And the love you have within yourself and for the other person and vice versa is still very much there. Look, there's a rose. Can you see it? Right there. And there is still something you haven't noticed about yourself back there. Little bit of wisdom to be gained, but only you can give it to yourself. And it's on the masculine side of things, which means you have to look at it with your feminine eyes, because the masculine doesn't really notice what he already has, because he's already around it. It's like being in a house that has a library in it, like you have a room full of books, your study or whatever you want to call it. You don't really know every book that's in there anymore because you live there. They're all there and you just kind of take them for granted. But if somebody comes over and goes through all those books, they'll find tons of little treasures. So look at your situation with clean eyes, with fresh eyes, and a fresh heart. Instead of calling someone your ex, call them the love of your life, if it's applicable. Instead of saying someone manipulated or hurt or backstabbed, be like, somebody helped me see my weaknesses so that I could be better. Instead of saying, oh, it was such destruction and everything ended, be like, no. We came to a clear knowing of who we are and what we are to each other, and we are growing from here. You okay now, Sag? Sagittarians. Cute little ponies. I love ponies. Seriously. And what people don't really pay attention to in the Ten of Swords, the sun is rising in the background. Really. And if you want to get scientific about it, your body is only alive because of the light within it. So those 10 swords in your back, you could still be chugging along and walking if you keep the light within you bright. Your creator, the being that you are, God, source, is light. The body you're in is made of the earth mother, and the Father God. Kind of, sort of, you know what I mean? So nothing is over. You've only retracted your light from it. And light, in this case, being emotional and mental perspectives on a higher vibratory rate. Instead of being, woe is me, you're going, I'm done with this BS. Let me see what I can do now. And you can. You have a table in front of you that has more than just the 4 pentacles and blah, blah, blah in front of it. The sword, pentacle, wand, and cup. You have wisdom, knowledge, immortality, the fruit of the gods, the pomegranate. Immortality. Nothing has ended. You're only being shown that you are not your lover and your lover is not you. You are your own lover. And the way you fantasize about being in love and how you want the lover to love you is what attracts that lover to you, that will do those things. And if the person you are with isn't doing those things, it's because you aren't thinking and manifesting those things to happen to you. What your lover is doing is 100% direct result of what you are thinking, feeling, and putting into your etheric field and the auric field and the morphic field. And when your partner comes into that field, he picks up on it, he or she picks up on it and does those things. So if you're constantly saying, he never talks to me, he betrays me, he this, he that, she this, she that, that's what they do. That's simply what they do. And I know this from personal experience. I would sit there in the house me and my previous partner had, and it was, when I'd be bored, I'd just be sitting there, and we would both like play this manifestation game with each other. It was simple things. Like I would sit there and I think, I want a kiss on the cheek right now. And he wouldn't, he'd be busy at work, and I'd go upstairs and I'd stand in front of his office door, and I would just smile at him and thinking, I want a kiss on the cheek. He would get up and come and kiss me on the cheek. When he wanted to be coy and sneaky, he would think the same thing, and then we would be standing there like, okay, who's gonna do it first, right? Not even it was complete telepathic communication. And then I would go up to his desk, give him a kiss on the cheek, and then while I'm giving him a kiss on the cheek, he would start giving me tons of kisses on the cheek. When I would be thinking, oh, he's probably going to come home and be so tired from work, and he's going to be irritated, and I got to get dinner ready and everything else, he would come home, and he would be happy driving home. But the minute he'd walk through the door, he would feel my vibration, and he would come into that resonant field. You are what attracts what you're experiencing. So get out of this state of grief, because it's the only thing in your life that is keeping you from everything you want. And in the next 4 days, 4 to 6 days, you're going to be given multiple opportunities, blessings, gifts, signs of pay attention to the signs. Anything that makes you go, that's strange. A feather, a bird, a sound, a coin, different things you see. Be really aware. Be really aware this week. And every time you get to a bored state of consciousness, draw something, do something, call a friend, but don't talk to negative Nancy's. It's going to take you a few days to get through this feeling, to get this feeling out of your system. It's like washing clothes. The cycle has to spin and spin and spin until all the dirt is out of the clothes, and then the water is drawn out, and then the clothes are like tired and panting and just like, oh my god, is the spinning over? And then you take them, and then the clothes are blasted with heat, After that, you have warm, fuzzy, comfy clothes. So trust the process. I know they say that everywhere. Do the work. Trust the process. And it's valid. You can't get your clothes clean unless you clean them. You can't get your heart clean unless you clean it. Your mind isn't going to be clean unless you clean it. And stop involving people in your love life. I don't care how amazing it is or how negative it is. Don't involve them. People will always think and feel and manifest things into your relationship that you let them by tacit consent. Like, it's just consent because you know them. Like, yeah, that's my mom. I can tell her anything. But you don't know what your mom is thinking once you're done talking to her. Keep your love life close to your heart. The only people involved in your love life are the people you sleep with. The person that you touch lips with and share your heart with is the only person that should be involved in your relationship with that person. You have problems? Talk it out. You don't know how to talk it out? Open a YouTube video. Sit down and write each other letters. Communicate from the heart, not from the pain. Talk to each other as if you're in the same house, in the same room, looking at each other and loving each other, regardless if you're on the other side of the planet or not. If you're blocked, if there's silence, if there's separation, if you're being ghosted, it's fine. Call, leave a voicemail from the heart. Be the most authentic you can be without the scars and the pain and the sadness. And hey, if you get scars, some of them are sexy. And some of them show people that you've learned, you've grown. Really, 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 really. The worst is over. Lay to rest the ghost of the past and move forward into the future. You have so many opportunities this week to do so. Just don't do things that would cause you to regret doing them. Don't involve people that aren't the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. Don't talk about the drama. Don't involve the drama. Don't talk about sadness or fears, because it's pointless. Why would you perpetuate a forest fire? Why would you perpetuate decay? Why would you drag fear on? Why? Some part of you must enjoy it, right? Or you're waiting for somebody to give you a reason to let it go. Here's your reason. Let it go. You have the Empress, the Star, and the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles that came out. Let this go and go for what you want. Just make certain you're matching the vibration of what it is you want. And I know people say that, and I know what it feels like to not know what it means. And I'm telling you, listen to this video again. Sit down quietly, turn everything off. You can leave a little minor light on, but turn everything off and focus on your heartbeat. Focus on your skin and remind yourself what it feels like without sadness to be at home with yourself and your lover. You know how they say act as if? That's what it means. Sit down and feel that you're at home. Keep doing it for days, weeks, months, however long you want, because you're not losing anything. You're giving yourself a feeling of home. And then the universe will bring it back to you. I should really draw more cards when I do these readings. Because what I'm seeing, you're not seeing. So maybe having more cards out would actually help you see to see what I see. Next reading. All right. The worst is over, Sagittarius. Will you allow the best? You can either be in this or continue this. But this is over. It's here to show you it's over. It hasn't left you, but it's over. Ending, resolved. Communication taking place. Growth occurring. Love reuniting. Making something out of pain. You can do this. And if you need help, I'm here. Be well, and I love you unconditionally.